These are my thoughts and my notes after watching the Ravens lose to the Colts today. I think that there are excuses to be made, mostly along the lines of how injured the Ravens are. That lack of talent, let's say, at the defensive edge position and at the corners really shows up. I still do not believe they have enough depth up front on the defensive line. That said, I felt they were outplayed, certainly, by the Colts' defensive front, and they were pushed around at times by the offensive line of the Colts. I'll get into the plays and editorialize perhaps a little as I go. First quarter, the Ravens surrendered the edge on the very first play. I believe that's Ojabo who moved himself or was moved inside. Hamilton gets his first sack on the Colts' first drive. Offense comes out on fire, read option on the very first play. Lamar looked good throwing the football on the first two drives. Quick out to Flowers, nice throw. A called QB draw on this first drive. That was the first of several throughout the day. Lamar pulls an escape artist play. Really nice hole shot to number 80. Lamar, of course, runs for a touchdown. I thought that was a nicely drawn up play. Eager to see how that played out up front, but that was a very nice run, very patient run for Lamar to score. The Colts had an effective run game today. They were very patient in sticking with that. Kyle gets his second sack. Have to say, I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback not identify a blitz or even see the pressure coming from that side the way the quarterback for the Colts did today. Just no awareness whatsoever on two out of three of those sacks that there was somebody coming. Drive 2 for the offense, a big run by Gus to start it off. They brought Pat Ricard on a wham block backside to take out the 2-eye, I believe it was. Looked like a nicely set up screen to 37 with Zeitler releasing. And the ball is stripped. So they're moving the ball very well and looking fairly sharp. Lamar looks sharp on the first couple drives. Things started to go downhill for the most part from there. Julius Brents with a nice strip. Thought he played very well for the Colts today. Drive 3 for our defense. The Colts are committed to this run game. Here in my notes, I wrote that 48 was driven off the ball on a 2nd and 7 play. Hamilton really shined all day. I wrote down the QB is terrible here on this drive. I really am not. It really bugs me that we lost to that quarterback. Offense, third drive of the game. 3rd and 4, they go empty. This was a design quarterback draw. When Lamar is sacked, McCary's beaten badly on this, but this was another quarterback draw called up. That's the way it appeared to me. The rush gets home in a hurry. He gets stripped, lucky to fall on the ball there. In quarter 2, I wrote that Hamilton is super violent, getting off blocks. Really played like a star today. 4th drive begins with Lamar staring down and waiting on Mark Andrews running this bang dig. He held the ball, patted the ball, gets stripped. I thought the D held up nice there. Very good on the sudden change in a bad field position. 5th offensive drive starts with read option, and on 3rd and 5, we get that bad snap. So just 3 very bad possessions in a row by this offense. The defense's 6th drive where Hamilton gets his 3rd sack. Into the 3rd quarter, first possession for the Ravens, almost a fumble on the exchange between quarterback and running back. Then you get a false start by 78. Big time scramble by Lamar, 2nd and 12. And then the Ravens are stopped on 3rd and 1. I thought the Colts defense played more physical than the Ravens and beat them up a good little bit today. Ravens get their 2nd possession in quarter 3. Julius Brent breaks up a ball to Mark Andrews on third down. I have to see all the routes, but it looked to me like Lamar was waiting for Mark on that as well, perhaps staring him down. Nice play by Julius Brents there. Their third possession in the second half starts with another design quarterback run. For the most part, those worked well. On this drive, the Ravens were running the ball very well. This is another touchdown drive for the Ravens offense. Fourth possession of the second half, another quarterback draw with Gus leading this time. Fifth possession, another quarterback run with 4 minutes. Really great escape by Lamar. As the game's coming to a close, I wrote down you're seeing a lot of the same plays out of the same formations. At 1:56 of the fourth quarter, I don't know the down and distance. It was third down, I believe. No, it was second, and they run this I formation, 22 personnel, and the offensive line gets mashed. I thought they got severely outcoached today, out-schemed. That's the way it appears. You can't always tell until you see the all-22, but that is the way it appeared to me. This did not look like a fine-tuned chess-playing offensive coordinator. Not a good performance, I don't think, by the offense and the offensive coordinator today. I don't know how many possessions the Ravens had into overtime, 3 or 4, just could not get out of their own way. They started one of those possessions on the plus 49 or 48 and couldn't get into field goal range. There's a miss to Zay Flowers. That miss is not on Lamar. That miss is on Zay. Zay was a yard inside where that field goal marker was, and he should have sat that down, and he kept going, and they don't connect. At 4:10, there's a very weird pass by Lamar. Have to see that. Did look like he had guys open, but there's pressure, and then there's a drop at the 39-yard line. Of course, the penalty was egregious. There is no excuse for missing that penalty. Bottom line, again, is that the Ravens got beat up in their own stadium on the offensive line, on the defensive line. They got out-coached. They got outlasted. They got beat by a quarterback who isn't very good in an offense that does not appear to be very weapon-laden. Let's just put it that way. They are 2-1. Ravens have got to find a way to get these guys healthy and on the field, particularly at the outside linebacker position, certainly in the secondary. I'm not sure the Ravens don't get beat handily if Anthony Richardson plays today. They're going to have to play much better next week and the subsequent week to next week if they expect to beat the Browns and the Steelers.